Hi, welcome back to It's Happening Now. Today is a special day. It's our 10th episode, guys.
Yep.
Can you
Yep.
believe that? And
Yeah.
it's also, we're also going to change our format a little bit soon. Starting Monday, we're going to do a Monday through Friday show, 7 p.m. to 7:30. And then Saturdays, we're going to do let's call it a fun Saturday, where
Right.
we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, anything from conspiracy theory, murder mystery, ghosts, aliens, whatever floats our boat that day, I guess. So,
And if you have anything to add to it, like you want us to talk about a certain thing, like let
right,
us know in the
yeah,
comments and we'll look into it and see
yeah,
what we
let
can
us
do.
know and we'll try to work something out. But let's introduce my amigos here. Across the table is Devin. Next to him is Greg.
Hola.
To my right is Chris.
What up?
I'm your host today, Scott. And I guess that's it. Let's get started into our top story. I'm gonna hand it off to Greg and let him roll with that one.
Could you pull that story up, please? With our first story, we have it's from the Gateway Pundit, and it's Fani Willis lover Nathan Wade resigns from Trump RICO case after judge ruling, which I think is appropriate, but doesn't go far enough. I mean, the Judge Scott McAfee, he's like, oh no, Fani Willis, she can stay on the case. She's fine, even though she lied,
Yeah.
perjured herself,
Yeah.
basically streamed as a witness and totally tried to escape the fact of what she did, having an affair, hiring her
lover.
boyfriend to be the special prosecutor so he could collect $695,000 off of Fulton County, Georgia. I mean, that is criminal-esque in itself.
Right.
And she's still allowed to practice law and go after somebody else for a RICO, and basically that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
But
I would also like to add to that. Hey, that judge is up for re-election. He's doing his re-election right now. So if you don't like what he did, you could always just vote him out.
Is it that he's
Please
just
vote him out?
a fair and impartial judge? I mean, does it matter that he and his wife both donated to Fani Willis's campaign fund?
Right. I would say like the best thing he could have done, in my opinion, is he could have just said, hey, in order to be unbiased, impartial, they could have just got rid of her and said, hey, look, we understand some things happened here. We're going to get rid of her. We're going to replace her with somebody else and let the case continue if you want to, or just trash the whole case because it's trash. It's crazy anyway.
It's a bogus case. Anyway.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
so but that would be the unbiased, impartial part, the impartial thing to do.
Right.
But instead he kept her, but got rid of her lover. You know what I mean? And it didn't go far. Like you said, it didn't go far enough.
Question.
You know what I mean? They should have got rid of him.
Could you still try to charge her for perjury though?
You should.
Like as in a different case.
But this is the problem. We're all drivers here, and everybody out here that's watching this, you all drive around the highways and the byways and the back streets. And we've all seen the bloated, dead, half-rotten deer on the side of the road, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what justice is now.
You're
it's
right.
a big, dead, rotting carcass on the side of the road. There is no justice in America anymore, unless you're on the left.
Exactly.
Right. That's the
what's
thing
gotta
that doesn't
come
make sense is like it's we know now it's not even just a 2-tier justice system. It's 3-4 tiers by this point. You know what I mean?
It's fake.
Certain people can get away with murder. Other people, you jaywalk across the street and you're going to prison. You know what I mean? Look what they're doing to those J6ers. You know what I mean? It's like some of them may have done some things, but a lot of them are innocent people who were just there for a protest. And that's our First Amendment right. We're allowed to do that. You can't take that away from us. And just because I don't agree with your side doesn't mean you get to persecute me.
Well,
you know what I mean? That's wrong.
It goes farther there too. I saw a video not too long ago, some college kids on a public sidewalk with a microphone or speaker out there saying, I don't know exactly what they were saying, but they were sort of protesting or whatever. They got arrested, actually arrested. So why?
Well, I mean,
they weren't obstructing anything. They weren't on private property. They were on public property. Where they're allowed to do that.
This doesn't really go with the Fani Willis whole aspect, but the proof of the double justice system, Trump and Biden had classified records that he stole He did, you know, I mean, he's the vice president.
He had no right to him at
no
all.
Right to those
he did it when he was a senator.
Yeah, and he did it when he was a senator. Had him in dilapidated boxes in his basement and in his garage.
That other people had access to.
Everybody. He had them in the Penn Biden Center, which had millions.
Well, I'm saying even in the garage, it was like people had access to that stuff.
Well, but he also had the Penn Biden Center, where he had classified documents in a closet. Okay, most of them dealing with Ukraine. That foreign nations gave money for the Biden Center. China.
I was about to say, are you talking about the job he took that he was being paid $1 million and he never went to work?
He never went there. Yeah. So was that just an open door for classified information? But that not. I mean,
he told classified information to his ghostwriter.
Yeah.
But then he denies it now.
But he lied to the special prosecutor her about that. He said no, never did. But then. And then the ghostwriter
out that it did.
Deleted the evidence before the prosecutor came to him. But
he pulled a Hillary.
Oh yeah, that he wiped
did he use hammers or did he use?
He wiped it with a cloth.
With a cloth.
Yeah,
a little Clorox,
a little bit of bleach. Yeah, bleach bit.
So he's like, well, you know, I don't think we could prosecute him because he's just a feeble old man and nobody, you know what I'm saying. But Trump,
he's open. It's open season on him.
And every paper that Trump creates during his presidency belongs
to Donald Trump.
Okay,
right.
It doesn't belong to the government. There's no government agency above the president that says, no, you can't have that, you can't have this, that you can't do this. No, the president is the top of the executive branch.
Right.
But they're going to prosecute him for having him locked in a special room, all right, that has heavy security cameras.
Yeah, try to go on Mar-a-Lago and see what happens.
And guarded by the Secret Service.
Right.
But that's illegal.
Well, and
no, it's not. It's actually actually legal. Every bit of what he did was legal.
Right.
But everything that Biden did, every single thing that Biden did was illegal. Right. You cannot do that. And he's getting away with it while they're saying Trump did all this. And it's like, okay, if you're going to say you're going to charge Trump when what he did was legal, well, we have to look at Biden and see what he did and charge him, because every single thing that he did when he was vice president and senator and when he was in the Senate, when he took those documents, it was illegal.
Right.
100% illegal.
He wasn't even supposed to have them.
Was not allowed to do it.
Everything he did met the threshold of a crime.
Right. But they're charging Trump with something that in no way, shape, or form even amounts to a crime.
And they're charging Trump, okay, with a prosecutor who met with Kamala Harris at the White House.
Right.
Called several times. You know what I mean?
Fani, whatever you want to call it.
Fanny, yeah. So right there, that's the White House giving her
Trump
direction.
Fani, because it rhymes with phony.
Fani.
Because it rhymes with phony.
Fum. I smell a corrupt prosecutor bum.
Right, there you go.
You see how easy it is to do that to him?
Yeah, you get them going every time. You got to stop.
It's an art. It's an art.
It is an art. But so she's corrupt. Okay, 100%. It's been proven. It's right there. That's corruption. Hiring your boyfriend so you can pay him so you can go on elaborate trips is corruption.
Dude was married when she was doing all that.
Yes. And then she lied about when he came over, when the relationship started. They lied about everything. Yeah. Now you have a corrupt judge. I'm sorry. You're corrupt now. In the eyes of America, you are a corrupt judge.
I would also say a coward.
He's a total coward.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no backbone.
No.
You are spineless. You're a coward. You know what I mean? You are scared of anything. Like, the reason he did it, in my opinion, is because he's scared to do anything against the left.
I don't think he's scared to do
He's on it, but I'm saying he is the left. Okay, he is the left, but I'm saying like the right thing to do in that case is what I said before. I'm not gonna repeat myself, you know what I mean? But
they abuse their power though.
It is abuse of power. It's not the right thing to do was to replace the prosecuting attorney. Instead, they just let her stay and they get rid of her lover, you know what I mean? And he's a coward.
Well, I hate to say it, but it's not just this one judge.
No, it's not. It's
a lot of them. I won't say all of them.
What should happen
probably some good ones.
Is the Georgia state representative should get off their butts and impeach her from her position.
Right. They should get rid of her.
Take away her
shows
license. Her doesn't she have a
law?
Yeah, disbarred. Thank you. That's what I was saying.
What happens is it's like, okay, I believe she represents a majority Black community. You know what I'm saying? So if Fulton County and Atlanta, Georgia. So she says, look, to all my citizens in my district, I am going to come after you hard with the law.
No matter what you do.
No matter what you do. And I'm going to prosecute you to the fullest, and I'm going to throw you in prison or jail or fine you a hefty sum, whatever the law states.
Right.
But I don't have to follow that law. I can enrich myself off of your tax dollars through my boyfriend
and do whatever I want.
Then lie in court about it. And the judge is, who's my friend? It's just going to be like, oh, no, nothing to see here.
Right. And then what you said, though, if anybody else in Fulton County was to do that, if you're a regular citizen in Fulton County, you'll go to prison for that because that's perjury. You lie on that stand and they want to come and get you, they will, and they have every right to do it because it is the law.
I don't know. I've been watching some of these cases. I mean, Biden, has had to go to court. His son's
going to court for the gun. What is the gun charge again?
Thank you. And you know what's going to happen?
Nothing.
Right. Again, because it's already happened, dude. Look, I've said this several times, and just in case anybody understands, like, yes, I'm a convicted felon. I got my gun rights back. So if anybody's seeing that and they're like, why are you doing that? No, I
help us.
The judge gave me full right to be able to carry. I got my rights back. But what I'm saying is, now, man, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going for something. I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, I don't think perjury's really
okay. I know what I was getting at.
You know what I mean?
I went to prison for 3 years for a failure to comply, which they trumped it up to a felony 3. It was a misdemeanor failure to comply. That's what I should have been charged with. They charged me with a felony 3 failure to comply with the police ordinance and sent me to prison for 3 years for a misdemeanor. But then you got Biden's son with all these cases, and he's gotten house arrest, little fines, stuff like that. So this is what normal people need to understand is
what he did was felonious.
Right. But I'm saying, like, you as a normal citizen, they will throw the book at you and there ain't nothing and there's nothing you can do about it. But if you are the son of a politician, if you are somebody who has money, you can get away with murder, and that's not fair. And then they try to say there's not a double tier, a 2-tier, 3-tier, 4-tier justice system. They're lying to you.
I would definitely like to bring this up because I think it's a story that happened a while ago, back in 2016, but it has direct ramifications. It's almost the exact same thing as what happened with Biden, right? Biden accidentally had these documents, right?
Accidentally?
Well, accidentally had these
documents.
I was
like, you gotta put the finger quotes in there or something, bro.
There was a guy, I do remember this, a Marine that accidentally took pictures of himself in a submarine. In 2016. And I found the story. If you want to look it up, you should. But he got 3 years. He was facing up to 6 years, but he got 3 years with super supervision around him afterwards when he got out.
Right.
For that crime of just having some photos of a submarine.
Right.
If you are not supposed to have these documents,
right.
Because, by the way, you're not the president of the United States. You never were. You were a vice president. You should never have any documents. Even if you were a senator, you're not allowed to have any documents.
I believe he had them when he was in Congress.
Just having those documents make you guilty, period.
Right.
It doesn't matter what your intent was. It can get a lesser amount of time, but you're still going to prison because you had those documents. That's the thing. If you are a regular person, just a regular Marine, just a regular dude, you're going to jail.
Just throw the book at
for the smallest thing.
Right.
But if you are high up on the hog, I mean, if you are better than the average, citizen, you're not going to anywhere.
Let me put this to you: go to Washington D.C., go through a tour, an actual tour. I dare you to reach across something and try to touch like the Declaration of Independence or something. You go to prison and probably disappear. I mean, we won't hear about you for a long time. But you
should. That's the point.
I agree. We need laws, but they need to apply equally to everybody.
You said
the higher ups.
I was getting ready to say that.
Yeah. And just to bring it back to
hold on. I will disagree a little bit with that. I feel like if you are a cop, if you are a politician, you're making these laws. If you break them, you should be held to a higher standard.
I agree with that.
And therefore, if I get 3 years, you should get 6.
I agree with that.
Because you made those laws, you broke those laws. And not only that, but like there's a lot of laws that the regular citizens just don't even know they exist. It is a proven fact. One of the statistics is a normal citizen commits at least up to 3 felonies a day and don't even know you're committing them. because there's so many laws on the books. But these people make the laws. They know what the laws are.
Right.
And then they get a slap on the wrist. Oh, you know, I mean, just don't do it again. And then they do it again, and they get the same treatment.
But you have to be wondering, and I'm not saying that they're bribing these people or anything like that. But you know, maybe there's some money here and there. You know what I mean?
Maybe I guarantee
everything in the United States seems to just be a giant money making institution.
You're right.
That's all it is.
Right there. I want to read this quick little paragraph. All right.
Go ahead.
And just to show where the government has gone away, and you'll all recognize it really quick. But it starts like this: we, the people of the United States, in order to form the more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessing of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. That's the preamble. Okay. It's basically saying that we created this government to serve the people.
Exactly.
Okay?
Right.
The government has stopped serving the people.
Right.
They hold us hostage now, is what they do.
It's for the people, by the people.
Right.
And it has become for the government,
by the government.
Yeah. And if you even think that you're going to be like one of us, you're going to go to jail.
Well, I think that's the thing. I think it's for the government and the people that agree with us.
No, it's not for the
because
that's how they live now.
Here's how that works.
You follow, or we will destroy you.
No, here's how that
we'll
here's
take
how that
you
works.
away.
I'm gonna let him answer that, and then I'm gonna see if I agree with you.
Okay, here's how I see that. I will use you to get my stuff through.
Okay.
The second I don't need you anymore, I take you out.
I agree with 100%.
That's what they did. They did that with Black Lives Matter. They do it all the time with Black Lives Matter. They do it with Antifa.
Antifa.
Well, the Proud Boys was on the other side. And they weren't bad. They didn't do really anything bad. They protected themselves, and then they went to prison for it. You know what I mean? So that was a whole different story. But when it comes to that stuff, they will use you until they don't need you anymore.
I understand that.
Well, then you become a liability
it's not that
anyway.
it's not that you can do what you want, because they will persecute you too.
Right. But as I can't define a person's intentions,
they'll use you. I agree to the point of they will use them. But the second they're done with them, they will discard them like trash.
You can't define a person's intentions 100%. Well, no, you can't say 100% for sure what a person's intentions are.
The smaller the group, the more you can.
Nonetheless,
the more you can.
The fact,
I mean, if I know this,
well, I'm saying if you put the government,
I'm just saying, if I know, all right, that this guy over here beats women, I could pretty much define his intentions that every woman he gets his hands on, he's going to beat.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? So if
it will eventually come to that.
If I know somebody in the government is out to take control, and every act he does is to chip away a little bit more of my freedom, I can judge his intent. He's not going to stop until all my freedoms are gone.
Right. If you have obvious, stuff based from that person itself.
Right.
What I'm saying is, if you try to make an overarching view on like a people of a certain viewpoint, you know what I mean? You can't do that because you don't know 100%. But nonetheless, the possibility of that terrible thing existing is probably enough for you to, or should be enough for you to go, I'm going to hold back. I'm going to wait and make sure I can make a more informed decision on these people.
Let me ask you this, Devin, about
maybe
judging the intent of somebody. What is the percentage at some point in the day that I'm going to scream in this mic in your ear?
Well, during the podcast, none. Probably before the podcast, 110%.
There you go.
It's over 100%.
Definitely assume my intention.
But that's because this has been repeated
action. That's what I'm saying.
Patternistic.
It's like the government. Like how I see what he's saying is, I can predict what the government's going to do. I can predict that almost. Almost 100%. I would say very close, because it's a smaller group. Now, can I predict what Antifa's going to do? No, because they're unpredictable. And even the government that's using them knows this. They use them and they push them towards a certain agenda. And then but they're somewhat organized, but for the most part, they're unorganized. Just like Black Lives Matter, you know what I mean? They push them to do their work, their dirty work. but it only works to an extent.
The problem with it,
and then the second they don't need them anymore, next thing you know, people start going to prison, stuff like that. And they're like, see, look, we prosecuted them after they already did the work they needed them to do.
They're paid agitators.
Right.
These are people that don't care about it.
Well, yeah, those people they pay don't go to prison, but they will pick a couple out of that group and be like, okay, see, we persecuted these people. See, we did this too. It's like, no, I know what you did there. I'm not stupid.
Right.
But for the normal person, and I'm not saying normal people are stupid. I'm just saying if you don't pay attention, you won't catch it.
Individually, people are really smart. In groups,
yes.
Mm-hmm. Right. Agreed.
Well, it's just like if I'm having
look at this group.
If I'm having if I'm having a protest and I get 100,000 people to meet me in New York City, and I'm saying we're going to go to this location over here, and we're going to walk over here, and we're going to be chanting these certain words. Halfway through, I can start chanting something else, and every single person will start chanting that same thing, and then I can direct the crowd over this way and go do whatever I want.
Yep.
And the second I bust a window or anything like that, they just follow along.
There will be some people that won't.
Yeah, some people will walk away.
But most people in a crowd, just like the lemmings, if I lead them off a cliff, they'll follow me right off that cliff.
Yeah,
true.
They won't know until they're up. It's their turn to fall off the cliff, and then be like everybody's pushing them forward.
Look at any call. Eventually it leads to the poison Kool-Aid, and everybody there drinks the poison Kool-Aid because
drink your Kool-Aid.
They might get individually. They might be like,
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that. Why are we here? Let's get out of here. But when the day comes and they're in the group and everybody's like, yes, it's time to drink the Kool-Aid. It's trying to go home. They're going to slip the Kool-Aid because group.
Well, you did it, so I'll do it. Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, my mom used to say this all the time, and it didn't work for me because I would do it. But she'd be like, if such and such jumped off a bridge, would you do it? I'm like, oh yeah, we do that all the time. You gotta use another analogy, Mom, because that one, yes, we do that all the time.
That's fun. We make the dumbest guy jump off first to make sure it's deep enough.
Oh yeah, make sure there's nothing under there that you're going to get caught on or anything.
Jump off, right? But it is absurd, and that's what the government knows that if they can just get a few people on board, then
to follow along,
there will be followers.
There always will. No matter how absurd whatever they come up with, there's always followers.
Yep.
I mean, some of the headlines and stories I read, you're thinking to yourself as a logical individual, you're like, this is 100% illegal. There's no way this is going to fly. And then some judge or whatever comes along like, no, it's fine. Go on. And you're like, what? You're like, what happened?
I read an article about transgenderism. Mm-hmm. And that a vast majority of transgender people are autistic. So because autistic people will take an idea and they will run with it. They will grab it and run with it. Now,
I don't know.
The spectrum of autism, varies. So I'm not talking about the super far disabled autistic, but the mildly autistic. I can bring up the article, but so when the government, I saw him shake his head over there. When the government,
I'm just saying that's
a dangerous topic, man.
When the government put this out into public, you know what I mean? The people that are mildly autistic, they get a hold of that idea, and it becomes.
I would say most people who
consuming for them.
Yes. I would say most people who are transgender or it is. What is it called? It's a mental disorder. I can't remember.
Some people have related it to what do you call it? Gender dysphoria.
Gender dysphoria is what I was getting at. Yeah, the information is so crazy nowadays. Nobody really knows anymore. I would say there's a lot of people
get away from that.
No, I'm just saying like where he's going. I'm saying like. I don't really agree to all the way with that. I don't know. I didn't see that study, but I
don't know about that study either. But
a lot of people are just
people.
A lot of them are kids and they're looking for attention.
I won't pull this up, but but I'll just read it. It is a spectrumnews.org. This is one. This was written September 14th, 2020. Large study to date confirms overlap between autism and gender diversity. Now, if I just reach down here, people who do not identify with the sex they were assigned at birth are 3 to 6 times as likely to be autistic as cisgender people are. So
I mean, that may or may not be true. I want to.
Researchers often use gender diverse as an umbrella term to describe people whose gender ideas, such as transgender, non-binary, or genderqueer, different from the sex they were assigned at birth. Cisgender or cis refers to people whose gender identify with assigned sex match. So this study was done by the University of Cambridge in the United Kingdom. So autistic people are more likely than neurotypical people to be gender diverse.
They are
several studies show
more likely, but I mean, you said 3 to 6%. That's really a pretty small percentage.
6 times, more, 3%, 6 times more likely.
I read a study on it a while ago that most of the time it's just people who are looking for attention,
right? Are trying to fit into a group.
They're trying to fit in a group, and that's sad. But I mean, to get away from that.
So
I agree. Let's get away from this topic.
Well, I am. Even NPR, transgender and non-binary people are up to 6 times more likely to have autism.
No, I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying, I don't know.
What I'm saying is,
it's bad regardless. You know, people shouldn't be doing certain things to themselves.
No, but this is how
I would call it body mutilation.
The government uses the people. So, it really wasn't Obama. It definitely wasn't under Trump, but this was pushed hard with the Biden administration.
Right.
So it was transgender. And like I said, I'm a constitutional loving free American, and whatever you want to do.
I just don't want them to do it to kids, and that's what I think is their agenda, is to push it towards that, and I don't like that because most kids are impressionable.
So
if their friends are doing it, they'll do it too.
But this is what I mean. They made it
and I don't
mainstream.
like that.
They put it out there, mainstream.
Right, and that's what I don't like about it.
Everybody started pushing it. If you're autistic, you're 6 times more likely
to go along with status quo.
Along with that propaganda. So what wasn't mainstream in society, they made mainstream. So they knew there was a whole bunch of, I hate to say it, autistic people out there that would take this information and run with it. So, I mean, so you didn't see it before it went mainstream, and now it's mainstream. All of a sudden, it's rising in schools.
Right, and again, that's the part I don't like about it, is because you're taking something and you're shoving it in the face of people who are impressionable. They're easily manipulated, basically.
Yeah,
and that's not right. You shouldn't be doing it. If you're a grown adult and you want to do that, I don't care what you do. You know what I mean? I really don't.
But that's what's wrong about it is if I did that, if I went and I found an autistic kid and I sat there and I kept telling him, you're a cat. You're a cat.
Yeah, you're manipulating.
I'm manipulating.
Yeah,
and that's
wrong.
what they're doing. But
and they're also like it also works a lot with and anybody who feels any way about this. It also works really well with females.
Yes,
young females are very easily.
Well, they want attention.
Right, that's the word I was looking for. Like that's the way I was trying to put it. Is they like attention, and that's fine. You know what I mean? There's I'm not going against females. You know what I mean? It's just
I love them.
I love them too. I'm married. I got kids. I love my wife.
Every strong man is a stronger female.
My wife has made me who I am today. But that topic is it is really crazy.
It is crazy
and dangerous.
I wouldn't say dangerous.
I don't. Right now, because right now we're having problems with the freedom of speech in this country.
Well, not this country, but look at Canada. I mean, we are in a way, but like, look at Canada right now. Justin Trudeau just is trying to push a bill that says if you say the wrong thing, you can do life in prison.
Right.
What type of when I seen that, I was like, I thought that like we are above that. We are beyond, or we are past all that. The king can put you in prison for the rest of your life with no charge. I want to say one
more thing about that last thing, just to clarify. I'm open for people to be whoever they are.
I know you are. That's what I say.
But
leave the kids alone
on their own. They don't need propagandized. They don't need pushed, especially as a child. You know what I mean? When they don't know who they are or what they are, I just let people be people. They'll decide who they are when they're adults.
I like my biggest thing with that, if we're gonna keep going with it, is
no, we can go.
I'm just saying, like, I would add one more thing to that is be happy with who you are.
Yeah.
nothing you do to change yourself, even if you go to the gym every day. I mean, you're gonna feel better. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna be more healthy. But even if you get big, bulky as a man, it's not gonna make. If you're a coward, you're just gonna be a big coward.
Look,
it's who you are.
If you,
I'm just saying, be happy with who you are.
If you go to Craig's House of Pump, you get pumped, and you get real big, people treat you different. They do, trust me.
They do, but I'm saying I'm just throwing that out there. Is like people think that I'm going to change me, and you can change to a certain extent, but anything you do to your body isn't going to make you something. Now, especially if you're trying to change your sex.
Well, no,
there's nothing you can do to change your sex.
If you're a man,
what are you smiling about?
I'm just like,
if you're a man,
this conversation.
Not only has this conversation gone
terrified.
completely off the rails, but you guys are building railroad tracks down the mountain now. Because you're going to get us taken off of YouTube.
Right.
For what?
Well, I mean, right now, there is 2 states who are suing the federal government because they are apparently taking down ideas that are spread on
autism is,
on
tiptoes
sites
into the medical
they
field.
don't agree with.
We're not medical professionals.
We're
not. I'm just we're giving our opinion about it, and that's what I'm saying.
I'm not a medical professional,
but
I'm not your doctor.
Here's what I'll do to you, Scott. Name one thing you could do to your. How can you change your sex?
I can't. Well, right. I suppose I could. I'd start cutting off body parts, but I'm not going to do that.
But even that done, how? What does that do?
Now let me tell you.
That's just body mutilation.
There's this story, about
they shouldn't be
transgender man who says he's a woman and does a DNA test.
I've seen that.
At Ancestor, Ancestor and me or whatever that
23
and me, and it came back. He was a male.
Right.
And that, you know what I mean?
Upset.
And it upset
her and said, this has to be wrong. No, you can't change your sex. If you die, and 200 years ago, somebody digs up your body and they look at your skeleton or maybe take DNA and they'll be like, this is a male.
Yeah, right. This was a male. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to live out what I would say is a fantasy.
It is.
That's fine. Nobody cares. I don't care what you do. If you want to dress up like a woman, all that, I don't care. Right. You know what I mean? And that, my opinion, doesn't matter. Nobody should care what you do as a grown person. But stop pushing this stuff on our kids. That's where I draw the line. And then even if you do dress up like a woman and all that, there is nothing you can do to. You're never going to get pregnant. You can't have a period. You're not menstruating. You know what I mean? None of that. So, and in my opinion, it's a dangerous road to go down.
Isn't even the kid. It's the parent that has the mental problem that pushes the kid into doing.
I would say it's child abuse if you allow your kid to do that, because as a parent, you're supposed to correct your children.
I mean, Scott, when you were 12 years old.
This is an interesting topic, and I go down it because.
When you were 12 years old, did you care about what sex you were?
No.
Did you?
What, me?
Care about what sex you were? I mean, at 10, 11.
I was gonna say I lost my virginity when I was 12.
That's fine, but you were.
That'll be another episode of what kind of sicko sleeps with a 12-year-old.
Okay.
She was a grown woman.
You're a kid. You're playing with toys.
I didn't care. I liked it.
You're riding your bike.
Confused.
I went too far behind that. I mean,
she didn't believe I was 12, bro.
Bro.
The minute,
sure she did.
The minute that
she found out.
I hit puberty, and I stopped playing with the G.I. Joe and Transformers and the toys, and I started noticing girls. You know what I mean?
Right, but they're going after kids that are 8, 9, 10 years old who haven't even stepped into that realm yet, and that's
sex is.
Right, you shouldn't. Why do you even care?
You know what I mean?
You shouldn't. Those kids don't. They don't care.
The parent is the one who wants to be part of this special group, and they push their kids into it.
They're creating a fad, and it actually loops right into a certain episode of a certain show that we all like, South Park, I do believe. That's kind of they kind of shows some parallels in this regard.
You know what? So you know what this is, and I'll tell you what it is. And it's super undercover. So what they're doing is they're making you appear to, it's the kids' mental health, they don't identify this. It hurts the kids. They kill themselves. What they're doing is they're sexualizing kids under the guise of
I would agree with
kids'
that.
emotions. So
that's what I believe that too.
I mean, you can see it all over the place,
right?
I mean, when it is a sad world that has become of. I mean, when I was a kid, it was not like this. It was not even close. Now, right. I thumb through shorts or TikTok, and there's 12-year-olds freaking twerking. You know what I mean? 10
well, Netflix had that whole episode of that. Yeah. Like, that was weird. Mm-hmm. But
true.
You guys ready to change subject? Scott's been ready. He's over here like, I've been waiting.
I'm just glad this isn't live, so we cannot post this because I'm pretty sure they will demonetize.
No, people talk about this all the time. It's really not. But anyway,
my question is, do you have any cred?
Do you? Oh. But okay.
You know who doesn't have any cred right now? This is just breaking a story. I don't know if it's been a story, but you know that Tyson Foods is currently being boycotted.
They're posers. For what?
They are posers. They closed down that plant, right? Uh-huh. This is from the Gateway Pundit, by the way.
What plant?
So they closed down a plant in Perry, Iowa.
Okay.
So they closed that down, in production, laid off a bunch of workers, and then they apparently, according to this, they decided to partnership with a tent partnership for refugees to hire thousands of illegal immigrants to work in their plants so that they don't have to pay Americans American wages. And so they're being boycotted right now for their stuff.
They should be.
And you should be.
100%.
For hiring illegal workers. Where are people? How are you hiring illegals?
It's cheap.
And how is that not being attacked legally?
It is illegal in this country to hire illegal.
Right. So where are the people coming after these people? Especially when it's in your face, it's blatant.
Do you remember the preamble I just read?
Yeah.
The government was created by the people and elected people to serve the people. Right. When the government is allowing millions of people to cross your borders and then allowing companies to hire those people, the government is no longer for the citizens. Right. So it is no longer a institution that says everything we do is for our citizens in mind. No, they're replacing its citizens.
Right. So
when do we say no? When do we say enough is enough?
That's the question I've been asking for a long time, and apparently I'm the only one asking that.
Nobody's asking that question, but I think right now all of our hopes rest on Trump. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is we're all. I won't say Republicans. I'm not a Republican. I'm what you call a cloth coat constitutionalist.
I'm a constitutionalist.
So what that means is I'm for everybody. I'm the cloth coat. I'm not for the guy wearing the Armani suit. I am. Right. You know what I mean? And I'm for the person that's in a burlap sack.
Right.
Everybody. The Constitution. We're all created equal. Right. I don't care who you are, what you do in life. I don't care if you want to put barbells through your ears and giant spikes through your nose, because
that's your right.
Constitutional rights are yours to have. The only time it's not yours if it interferes with my constitutional rights.
Right.
So as long as you're not interfering with my constitutional rights, I don't care what you do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Just don't step on my rights. Right. I don't care what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like what we was talking about with the other, not to bring it back.
Right.
But just if that's what you choose to do, do it. But don't try to force me to live your fantasy.
Right. So if you have barbells through your ears and spikes through your noses, and
you call yourself a triceratops,
you say you have to have barbells, you have to have spikes in your noses, and you start attacking me or screaming out front of my house or screaming at me, now you are violating my constitutional rights. That's un-American. Right. So if you want to dress like a woman and you're actually a man, or if you're a man or a woman and want to be a man, that's fine. You know what I mean? Go out there and live your life like that. But when you
I don't care if you want to be a unicorn.
Right. I don't care if you're in a horse costume. But if you yell at me and tell me I have to accept you, I don't. I have to give 0% of my effort to validate your life.
Right. No, I agree. And what Tyson Food, that right there, that's I will not be buying anything from Tyson. I didn't know anything about that.
That just came across.
That's a new story.
Yeah, and that's nuts, man. How are you going to try? You are these jobs are supposed to be for American people,
right?
Not for people walking across the border and then you being like, well, I can pay them less,
right?
So I'm going to hire them, and then like, look, I'm not going to name the company because I'm not going to do that.
No,
but there is a company in Springfield that does that.
Yeah.
And we have listeria breakouts because of it all the time. Like, it's a nationwide company.
I know who you're talking about.
I know you do. But I worked there
I know who you're
for a little while. And they have all them problems because those people, they come in, they're usually not clean. They're usually not, and I'm not saying that's messed up. But anyway,
from a different world.
They do come from a different world. And that's why I'm trying to figure out a way to say it. Like, but they don't believe in they don't know that their hygiene is not is subpar. And that's the reason the outbreaks happen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And why they get away with it, I have no, because everybody in Springfield knows they do it. Everybody in Springfield knows they hire illegal migrants to work there, and that should be illegal. My brother worked there with them, and he would see their checks. No taxes taken out of them.
Yep.
But his check was taxed above and beyond. You know what I mean?
I just think that
that's weird though. Would that make you mad? Would that piss you off?
Two-tier justice system.
But that's what I'm saying. Would you be mad if somebody who works next to you, you're grossing the same,
right?
But they don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
So they get to walk out with their whole check,
right?
While you're paying for, and they get food stamps. Dude, it's nuts, man. I would be above.
So I have a question.
I don't understand how they get away with it.
Do they have to pay them the same as they have to pay, let's say, a true American citizen? Okay, so
they do that. They just don't take taxes.
Right,
but I bet you don't have to prepare stuff for like medical, right? I mean, like
probably not.
You have to pay double or something into workers' comp or something when you employ somebody. Yes. If you're employing illegal, but you don't actually show that you're employing that illegal, right?
No, you don't.
So you are actually pay less,
right?
So all these laws, I think it's funny. All these laws that liberals have worked so hard for to make the working environment better for the working man
hurts
by the very fact that you are allowing and promoting illegal immigration. You are actually destroying everything you worked for for years.
Okay,
right.
For years, you're destroying it.
I think they're doing it on purpose, though. I think this is
absolutely they're doing it on purpose.
I think this is being done by design because they don't want Trump back in there, and this has been going on for a while. But I think at this point they're trying to crash the whole system.
Oh,
I mean, has anybody out there, and I'm sure you have, noticed though, you had the AT&T thing, you know what I mean, where your phone, and it wasn't just AT&T, several, but AT&T was the big one. Then you had Facebook, Instagram shutting down. We're truck drivers, we're out there. Our Google Maps are going nuts. Sometimes it says something there, and they used to work flawlessly.
Well,
but to a point, you know what I mean, the best they could. But now it just, I was driving down remember when we was coming up on 275?
Yeah.
And do we bail before we go through Cincinnati on 275, or do we go down? Yeah, it kept on flipping. This way's faster. This way's faster.
Yep.
And nobody knew which way to go. So he went one way, I went the other. He got screwed.
Yep. I tried.
He took the short straw.
We also got screwed this week because of those NATOs.
I'm going to tell you. The
left, NATOs.
You
got screwed because of those tornadoes.
Oh, I thought you said NATO, and I was like, what NATO do?
Yeah, I just didn't put the toe in front of it.
Speedway tornadoes.
That's right.
They roll.
I was in front of that tornado. He was behind the tornado. He got stuck. I did not.
Ice everywhere.
It was to the left of me. It was like barreling right at me. This was good times. You guys missed it.
Fun it was fun.
So fun.
But let me get back to topic here because we have a way of swaying off on the exit and going down a road we shouldn't be on. But the left are genius. Okay, they use propaganda in the education system, in the media, to sway whole groups of people into believing things that are absolutely not true. One, they've convinced the entire Black community that they were the anti-slavists when they are 100%
they were the KKK.
They were the KKK.
The Democrat Party was the KKK. And then
1960s civil rights movement was completely opposed by the Democrat Party and championed
the
by
crime bill. Who did the crime bill?
Biden.
Joe Biden ran the crime bill.
Joe Biden called them predators in the street.
So did Hillary Clinton.
And Hillary Clinton. Yet they convinced him that he's not. Now, if you ask,
he also said he didn't want his children going to school
in a racial jungle.
In a racial jungle.
So who's the racist?
They've
That's
also
what we got to remember.
People that they are the party for the working man. Okay, they're not.
No, they're
okay.
not.
They're for the illegal immigrant. They want to replace you. They see Americans as too spoiled, want too much stuff. That we need a high wage. So
a living wage at least.
So they are bringing illegal aliens into this country. I'm going to call them illegal aliens. All right.
Well, that's what they are.
Who will work for next to nothing because in their country, it's a lot more money.
Right.
To us, we're accustomed to a lifestyle. We're all here accustomed.
Michael did that. Do you know Michael sent money to his where we work at? Yeah. He sent money
to his family,
to his mom in Africa.
Well,
that is
a cultural thing. Americans, we are a little bit self-centered. I'm not going to lie. Like Hispanic culture, my brother-in-law see
more about family. It's all about family. I agree. I'm just saying, like, he would send money to his mom, and his mom was like, he's like, my mom lives like a queen over there.
Well, right.
And he doesn't have to send her much.
The thing that I was going to say is, yes, we have a illegal alien.
He tried to bring her over here, but she said it's too cold over here. She said, "No, I'm not going over there. It's too cold." Go ahead. Sorry.
We have a real issue with the immigrants, the illegal immigrants and whatever, but we also have a problem with the laws that are put in place. Even before all of this, I personally know stories of, if you, by our laws, if you come from another country on a visa, work visa, whatever,
right,
and you can be here as much as you want, except you have to, like, how's it go? You don't have to become a legal citizen. You just come here, stay here, other than like 3 months. I think you got to go back to your work visa. Yeah. You got to go back to your home country for 3 months a year,
and then you can come back.
And then you can come back again, and you can keep doing that. And by doing that, you don't pay 1 cent of American taxes, but you are making American money. It is true.
I didn't know that you could do that. I didn't know it was a tax avoidance.
I don't have a problem. Okay. If with them coming over here and not being taxed for a certain time, they're not established. Okay. But that's if every law is followed. Okay. And what I mean by that, okay.
I think they should do the same thing for us, though.
Well, no, well, hold on.
If I start a company, they should give me a tax break for so many years.
This is what I mean. Okay. But what we're seeing this without the laws. You know what I mean? The Democrats are just letting these people in. They're not following the laws. It's actually really hard to become a citizen.
Oh, I understand that.
I'm born here. I grew up here. My parents are established. I'm established. Okay. So what they're doing, if in the actual immigration laws, is you have to prove that you have worth to be a part of this country. You have to have a sponsor you to come over here, an American citizen, saying, I will help them until they get established.
Right.
So they come over here for a short time. They don't pay taxes because when they come over here, they have nothing. I mean, so basically you get off a boat and you have the clothes in a bag. You can't bring your car. You can't bring a house. You can't bring anything.
Right.
So just imagine me taking you and dropping you off in a country and saying, you have to establish yourself.
Look, I understand that, and I'm okay for giving them a chance when they want to become a citizen. But our laws state that for 50 years, somebody can come over here from another country, pay no taxes, work every year other than 3 months. He's got to go back to his own country. I've seen this. I've worked with these people.
50 years. I think
it's like 7.
Yeah, I think it's 7 years. They get tax. They're tax exempt.
I believe if they never become a legal citizen and they follow that rule,
they're following that.
And they follow the rule of going back
loophole.
every 3 months to their own country. Will they still remain a resident of their country and just come back on a work visa, never pay a cent of American taxes?
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if it's for 50 years
they
can do it, but I worked with a guy that did that every year. His family was in another country.
You can only avoid the business if you come over here as an illegal or on a work visa. I think you can only skirt the system on that business of paying taxes for I think 3 or 7 to 10 years. I can't remember which.
Well, he didn't own his own business. He worked for somebody else, but he made good money. But
then I don't know. I don't know about that. And if you're working over here, you should have to pay taxes.
That's what I'm saying.
These illegals are coming over on basically with that. I remember someone bringing it up, and it was being to them. It was like, oh, well, that's just okay, right? Just because, this is why they're doing it. They apparently can come in, and the reason how they're getting in is they're requesting asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they were just like, oh, well, then they could just get it. No, the word requesting means you can ask,
but you're not.
But that doesn't mean that we need to comply with that request.
That brings up that thing I was telling you guys before we started. This was that what was her name? Lake Riley, the college girl that got killed by that illegal immigrant.
Yeah,
that guy got back into the country by marrying this chick who had a kid because it made it easier for her and her kid and him to get back in with using the asylum request. Right. You know what I mean? Because it worked better because they were married. There was a kid. So it worked. And then he went off and he raped, or I don't know if he raped her, but he killed her.
Was he an immigrant or was he a citizen?
He was an immigrant.
Okay, so and the woman and the child was an immigrant?
Yeah. So they got married, and then the kid, and then they requested asylum because they're a family.
Okay.
Right.
So the family status makes it
easier. Yeah, it makes it easier for them to request asylum and get back over here. Well, I think he was over here several times. I can't remember.
Just to bring it, we got about 10 minutes left. So
okay. I was bringing it up because I was wanting to bring that up because
look,
like that's a big problem we've been having with this country, and what the Biden administration has been allowing to happen over here is we are being overran by people we don't know who they are, where they come from, what their background is. And they come over here, and then we have been losing people. Like I seen the story the other day where this lady was mad because an illegal immigrant smashed into her car and killed her kid.
Right.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't here, it wouldn't have happened.
Right. I mean,
you know what I mean? Like that's the big thing. We're letting all these people pour in here. They're committing crimes. They're destroying lives, American lives. Our country is supposed to be, our government is supposed to be protecting us, and at this point, they don't care about us.
We talked about that. They don't protect.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. And people are starting to bring this to everybody's attention. Is if that person wasn't here, that child would still be alive.
Right. Same with the
Lake Riley would still be alive today if they did not let that dude inside this country and let him kill her. That is what they're doing. They're allowing them to attack us.
Well, this is directly linked to Biden right now. I mean, this story happened on the 15th. If you want to pull it up or whatever, that's fine. There was a Haitian man that was arrested for raping a 15-year-old girl, disabled girl, and he came to U.S. on Biden's parole program. Now, this is what they're saying. The Gateway Pundit.
Back up parole.
Parole.
Right. Right.
Countries are releasing their prisoners. There are countries that have admitted.
Trump kind of doing it. Remember when Trump was sending the people back to Venezuela? Like, no, you can't just let your prisoners out. Send them over here.
Unfortunately, we're not just working against.
But as a prisoner, if that was to happen, that'd be great.
We're not just working against the illegals. So we're working against other countries. I'd say that. Well. I won't go and say what we should do rather than just send them back, because then they're just coming back. It's a catch and release program now. You know what I mean? Oh, caught you, get out of here, you crazy kid. Oh, caught you again, get out of here. You know,
and then every time they come back, they get more and more money from our government. Our money.
Right. Our hard working money.
I'm sure if you want to hear more about immigration and more about these things, you can just go, today. Trump is here in Ohio.
Yes, he is. Yes.
So if you want to know more, I'm sure he'll be talking about these things.
At the Dayton airport,
tune into him, you know what I mean? Right. He should at least listen to what he has to say. But I mean, these are directly linked to Biden. That's not good, man.
Right.
No,
that's not good.
It's not good for us. He has been destroying our country,
if
man.
you fact check these claims, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, false. But how many times have the fact checkers been proven wrong?
Look what they did to Tim Pool and Elon Musk.
Yeah.
They said that. So there's this Haitian cannibal.
Oh, the barbecue.
Barbecue Haitian.
Yeah.
So
he is.
They at NB it was
leader of the
NBC.
gang.
Was it
He's the leader of
NBC?
the gang.
Yeah. What I can't remember what news, or I think it was NBC that said that it was not
one of the major
that they were sending false information that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
But then if you scroll down on that article to the 4th paragraph, they confirmed that yes, that Haitian was he was cannibal.
He was eating people.
Yes.
That his literal name in that gang, and he's the leader of the gang. His name is Barbecue because he barbecues people.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. What the news does is they're like, no, the story, stay away from it. Headline, fake news. You scroll down 3 or 4 paragraphs, and you're like, oh, but you just verified what you said was fake.
Yeah, but that's how they do it.
I know, because they know most people just read the headline,
and
then they know
even
true.
Right,
and then they know the people that do at least read a little bit past the headline. Only read like a paragraph or two.
Right.
So they bury the truth 3-4 paragraphs down. So stop just reading the headline. Stop just reading the first paragraph.
Story.
Read the whole story, because if you read the whole story, you'll figure out that the story may actually be true. I'm not saying it's always going to be true, but I mean, they called out Elon Musk and Tim Pool for being fake news, and then it came out that no, they were telling the truth.
And I just want to bring this up because the last thing on the whole, if you were a prisoner in another country coming over here, how amazing that must be. Like, think about this, right? If you were robbing people that didn't even have a pot to piss in,
right?
And then now
you're here,
and then they're just like, oh, hey, yeah, we like how you we like how you do things.
Look,
so we're gonna take you over here to the most rich place in the world and just release you into the world.
Just to add a little bit to that,
a dream.
I've got firsthand experience with it. People coming from other countries, even when they go to our prisons, it's like living like a king.
Right.
Their prisons are messed up.
It's like a Grand Theft Auto video game. You go to jail and they go, oh, guess what? You get released because we can't charge you.
I'm saying even if they go to prison, even if they go into our prison systems, it's way better than living in their country.
So, right here,
they don't care.
Yeah.
This is
it's a free for all.
This is a article from American Council on Science and Health, and here's a excerpt out of that. They did a whole bunch of research. The article is who's fact checking the fact checkers. Okay, and so we found
don't do it.
We found that PolitiFact often writes statements that are largely true, but comes from a GOP source as mostly false. By focusing on sentence alterations, simple misstatements, fact-checking the wrong fact, and even taking a statement, rewording it, and fact-checking the reworded statement instead of the original quoted statement. I remember I was arguing with someone when I used to be a moderator on a political group on Facebook, and I believe it was Trump said that I want to say it was 80 billion. It was $80 billion or something. You know what I mean? He said it's costing Americans $80 billion. Well, Snopes said it was false. I believe it was Snopes. It might have been political fact. I'm not going to call anybody out. Yeah, I'm not because I'm not 100% truth or have 100% facts on that. And so the actual amount was $79,998,000, or $1 billion.
This is fake because you missed it by $2.
It's false. Yeah, they said it was like because it was like it was cents. I mean, I don't know. It was like 33 cents or something. So they said that's false.
Yeah, that's what they do.
All right. How much time do we have left?
Not out of time.
Huh? Okay, we're gonna have to wrap this up because I also saw my daughter pull up. But
right.
So. Take us out of the show, Scott.
Right. Well, thanks for watching. Remember, next Saturday will be a whatever day. Conspiracy, whatever we come up with. Our studio's falling apart at the moment. But we're also going to be on starting Monday hopefully, if everything goes well, starting Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. to 7:30. And we're going to do the top story or top headline
Everybody's
of the
gonna be
day.
there, or it's going to be a severed head sitting on a desk because that's the way we're going to make it be. Have a good one, guys. Thanks. Peace out.
So much. Have a good one,
God
y'all.
bless America.
God bless America.
Later, you guys.
Later.